Tiffany, it's always a pleasure to be behind the scenes. The green room is like one of the favorite places to be. Like seriously, everyone loves being in the green room because I get to ask whatever questions before we actually go quote unquote live, right? And the show actually starts. And when we look at your exhaustive bio, all the amazing things you've done, I'm always want to know what's the backstory. Like, who is Tiffany and what are you up to today? So do me a favor, answer that question. Who is Tiffany and what are you up to these days?
Well, it's like, who am I? I'm at the core of a woman who's been fighting for herself and then fighting for people, I guess now around the world for almost 2 decades.
Mm-hmm.
And what am I up to? I mean, like, I feel like I'm saving lives and taking no hostages or something like that in between.
And on this episode, this evening or this morning or whatever time it is, wherever folks are in the world, what should they expect today? What are we going to be talking about today from your view of the world?
Yeah, it's like for years and years, I thought that it's strategy and tactics and know-how and access and resource. And I'm like, no, getting to the next level, doing the damn thing in our words, it kind of comes down to one simple concept. It's owning your story and not apologizing for it.
Owning your story. When you say owning your story, I know you're going to get into it a little later. For those folks that are just tuning in, before we go live, when you say owning your story, what do you mean by that? I mean, please share.
Yeah, because like, especially now, everyone wants to talk about, let's do storytelling. Let's tell a story. This is how you tell a great story. And this is what happens when you tell a great story. And all of that stuff is good. But for me, it's not about telling a story. It's about telling your story, period. Your entire story. And in our community, in our world, the core of what I teach is that everybody's got a story. The entire thing can be told in about 3 sentences. And the faster we get to the ugly, the faster we own the part that has the lessons, is the faster that we win. So for me, it's like, let's move away from the story and move into your story.
Into your story. For Rob Henson, who's joining right now, and Venus, who's joining, and Tanisha and Nicole Brown, and so many folks that are tuning in right now, we're going to get to your story. And I know where I'm going to ask the question, the difference between your story, your brand story, your narrative story. There's so many freaking stories. I hope she kind of shares what the differences and the nuances are. Before we really kick off, do me a favor. I'm not going to ask you a big why, because I know you get up for whatever reason it is, but what mission are you on now? Like, what's your purpose right now for where you are in your life?
I think the purpose has just been the same. 17 years ago, I was putting my babies to bed hungry all the time. And I hated life so much. And every other day, I feel like I just wanted to die. And the reality is that I just needed to know that someone saw me. I needed to know that I mattered. I needed to know that I had value. And just learning and being able to say, man, I matter, I have value. I mean, when that happened for me, it was like revolutionary to think that I had value. And once I made a decision to not just acknowledge the fact that I had value, but to own it, it changed everything. And I look back at my life today and it's like my mission in this lifetime, I've had I don't want to say the luxury, but I've built a 7-figure business. I have seen and done so many things. And it's like, I dream about the rest of the people who are like me, who want to give up, who don't believe it's possible, who think they're too old, too uneducated, And It's like my mission, I get up every day and I literally get on stages, on planes. I am hunting for my family members. I'm hunting for the people who don't believe. Because at the end of it, I mean, my God, if I can do it, I believe 100% that anybody can do it.
Wow. I believe you too. Well, welcome to Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. Your family is here. We're happy you show up not only on planes, not only on stages, but right here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. So with that being said, Karen, with that being said, Michael, with that being Stacy, it's time to kick it off. They're giving me the cue that we got to get going. In 5, it's my favorite part. 4, what's up, Daryl? 3, 2, 1, it's showtime. We'll be back. Let's go ahead and kick it off. Kim Griffin.
promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is to provide you, that's right, you, the entrepreneur, with the resources, with the tools, with the skills, and everything you need to execute 3 visions that I believe you have. I believe you first have a vision, Alfina, for yourself. The way you want to live, the food you want to eat, the car you want to drive. You got that vision. It takes resources, which means revenue, which means money. You have a second vision. That is the vision for your loved ones. Maybe like me, I had 2 boys and I had a vision of sending them to a college of my choice, and they were able to do that. Maybe you want to send your kids to a school of your choice. Maybe you want to write a check for health care. I'm a caregiver for my mom. It's nothing like taking her to the doctors, and I love taking her to therapy. And you want to be able to do that, but it takes resources, it takes revenue, or maybe you have a vision for the people you were called to serve. And that vision is so big, you just can't do it by yourself. And imagine if you were Moses. I happen to be a believer, by the way, and you're Moses, by the way, and God's giving you this vision. And imagine if he didn't have a hammer, if there was no nail, if there was no wood, if there was no team, he couldn't execute the vision. Maybe that's you. And so this morning, this evening, this afternoon, whatever time it is for you, Mario, whatever time it is for you, Vivian, whatever time it is for you, Monica, in the world, Tiffany Largie showed up for one reason and one reason only, and that's help you with your story and to help you with your sales. And I couldn't think of a better person than do that. So let's welcome the one and only. What's up, Tiffany?
I'm so excited to be here. I know I'm literally like, oh my gosh. I feel like, man, this is a day that I have been waiting for. Long overdue for sure.
Well, the good news is you're here. The good news is we're ready to rock and roll. And you picked the topic that you picked today, which was sales and story. And take a moment and kind of frame the conversation. Why did you decide that storytelling and being able to get your message across is so important for entrepreneurs today?
Yeah, so it's like it's simple. Right now, when I sold my company a couple of years ago, I heard these 2 stats and it just floored me. First stat was that less than 80, I think it was only 11% of all business owners at that time in the US got to 6 figures. And I was like, wait, what? And then the next stat was that around like 1.8, 1.9% actually got to 7 figures. And I thought to myself, are you telling me that 85+% of the entire country of people who've been in business for years haven't gotten to 6 figures? And I was like, it was daunting for me, because the truth is that until you get to 6 figures in business, you can't really pay your bills and put money into your pocket, and then also be able to spend a little bit of dollars to grow your business. So you're just in this crazy rat race. And having lived there and been there myself in business, I was like, oh my gosh, here's what's true. At that time, I had a lot of people who were gurus that I would either read about or talk to directly, and they'd be like, oh, part of the answer is that they need this amazing brand, or they need to invest in that. And if it wasn't that, it was like, we need more traffic. And I was like, they don't need more traffic. No, you just need to learn how to get more of the people you're already talking to how to say yes. That's like problem solved #1. Get more people, more of the traffic that you already have to say yes to your products and services, and boom, we're making more money.
And, people understand, and a perfect segue, that storytelling is important. They probably heard facts tell, stories sell, but yet they don't put the energy and time into doing it. Take a moment and kind of separate. I know you talk a lot about brand stories and brand narratives. Why is that so important that people really understand how to communicate that so that the other person gets it? like really gets it? Because we ask folks today to give us their brand story right now. They would stumble and fumble and say, oh, I'm not really ready to do that. Why is it so important? And why have you made that one of the cornerstones of what you teach?
Yeah, this is like a two-part kind of answer for me. I think first, I actually believe that the personal story, the brand story, and the product story are all one and the same.
Ooh.
And what we teach is that it's one story. I've watched this transform, not just like my own life, and I'll walk into that in just a moment, but now 4 years teaching, and we've coached hundreds and hundreds of people and tens of thousands of people who've been through this process. And it's like, the story, your story is the connection. People today are still buying from people. Like, no matter the brand behind it or how long they've been in people, trust me when I say people are still buying from people. And like, I believe wholeheartedly that connection's currency. So it's like, if connection is the currency, right, then our very first objective in sales, this is whether you're selling, this is true for me, whether I had $1,000 on the line, $500 on the line, or $500,000 on the line, it's a human on the other end and my ability to connect to them. And I don't mean building rapport like we used to talk about way back in the day, or, like, I like the Jets, you like the Jets, like, no, I'm not talking about any of that stuff. I'm talking about human to human connection. It's literally the easiest and greatest opportunity that exists today. So in business, we're often looking for another tactic or strategy. But the truth is that the story in building the brand, the products, the offers, the team, brand, which is your story, comes first.
And, for the person out there that says, I'm not a great storyteller. These people are born. They're natural. They're able to do whatever they need to do. Like LaShonda's watching right now. She says, I really needed this. Well, you're at the right place. Peggy Morris is out there. What's up, Peggy Morris? Stan Richards is out there. So many folks are watching right now. For the person that's saying, that's not just who I am. And that might be their story, their internal story. My question to you is storytelling a natural skill that you just kind of pick up and you're able to wing it and do it? Or is it a learned skill that can be learned in the way that you don't sound phony?
Yeah, so it's like, I want to be transparent and true and make sure that I'm clear. I actually don't teach storytelling.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Storytelling is like a folk thing. It's a performance. It's a stage thing. And I actually, we teach against it because yes, you can learn to be a great storyteller. And yes, there are some people who are great storytelling, but what if you're just like me and you're average? Like, when I started my business, I still to this day, I don't have a college degree. I don't have a license. I don't have any certifications. I don't have any formal education. So it was like, yes, I could learn something more, but the core of me connecting, and connection is currency, it's like, I kind of just have to walk into the party with who I am at this moment. So the truth is that once you begin to own your story, and there's 3 parts to it. So you asked me a question a little while ago about why people, like they don't, or they say I'm not ready for it.
Yeah.
Because the truth of telling your story is like, it's not just the good and the bad. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so many people are like, yeah, I tell my story. Yeah, we're willing to tell the good and the bad, but the ugly, we don't want to tell people the ugly. We don't want to tell anybody what happened, or the breath, or how bad, or how deep, or how many times you cried, or because the ugly holds the shame. The ugly holds the uncomfortableness. The ugly holds the fear. The ugly holds all the things that we ran from. And like, for me, I got to 6 figures by hustling. I did a lot of things, but I'll tell you, even I can remember being at a couple 100,000, and I never wanted people to know that I didn't have a college degree. I didn't want anyone to know that I had put Jada and Maya to bed hungry. I didn't want anyone to know that my ex-husband, that we had been abused. I didn't want anyone to know that I still didn't know where their dad was. Like, I think I was so afraid of the judgment, which is why we hold the key pieces of our story. I was afraid of the judgment. I wouldn't walk over there. But here's the truth. The ugly parts of our stories actually have the lesson, man. That was my aha. That's it. The ugly parts of who we are, all of it. That's where the lessons live. That's where this is how I did it. That's the truth. And that's the connection that's missing from most conversations, most sales conversations, and most business owners. So it's like when I made a decision to stop presenting like the church version of me, the mom version of me, the wife version of me, the hood version of me back in the day when you knew me when I was 16. You know what I mean? Like the new friend, now that I've made some money, a version of me. When I made a decision to just say, damn it, I'm just Tiffany. This is me. Like all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's actually when I hit 7 figures. I didn't do anything magically. I didn't do anything special. I just owned myself and my story, and I stopped apologizing for it, and I let the judgment come for me, which is why now it's like, man, this freedom over here, totally got to go share it.
Totally got to go share. You know, we're going to take a commercial. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. And I'm going to ask Tiffany if she'll share the backstory of Do the Damn Thing. Like, she just had this amazing conference. I don't even know what the true backstory is. I've seen some videos. But we're all going to learn together. You have a front row. And I'm going to ask her the question, what's the backstory behind Do the Damn Thing? And what was this conference about? And what did she teach folks? And what did they walk away with that we can walk away with? We weren't there, but there might be one idea or 2 ideas that we all can gather from her because she's here right now. Look, I promise you, you don't want to miss this. We're going to go over to the one and only now, Dr. Kenneth Thigpen. And Dr. Kenneth Thigpen is down in Raleigh, North Carolina. And she says, find your fire. Yeah, so appropriate. We'll be back in just a moment. Dr.
Hello, it's your girl, Dr. Kenneth Thigpen, also known as Dr. K, founder of Rise Women's Network. And Rise Women's Network is pleased to present to you, #Next Sister Up. I'm with you in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, and today is my January 1st. Here's your thought of the week. Find your fire. So I ask you, do you have a spark or do you have a fire? You see, a spark is something that's fleeting. It goes and comes very quickly. You know, if you think about a match or a lighter, it's something where you get a quick spark and then it dies down. On the other hand, you have a fire that can sustain longer for a period of time. And so when you think about life and business, I ask, do you have a spark or do you have a fire? You see, when you have that spark in life and business, you might like something one minute, you might not like it the next minute. When things get tough, you want to give up. Or do you have a fire that you know that what's inside of you, someone else is waiting for your gifts and talents, and nothing shakes that fire? And you know that you have to continue to feed that fire. Just like when you think about a natural fire, there are things that you need to continue to put in it for it to continue to burn. And so whether that's kindling or logs or dry leaves, there are things that you're continuing to put in it. And so I ask, what are you feeding your fire? Is it a mentor? Is it a coach? Are there books? What knowledge are you gaining? And so I think about these 2 things. One, you got to love what you do. You have 2 choices. You can love what you do and do more of it. Or if you don't like it, you should probably think about not doing it. And the second thing is quit talking and start doing. And so back in the day, we used to say, don't talk about it, be about it, which means start taking consistent action. And so I challenge you, find your fire, feed your fire, and continue to let it burn from the inside out. It's your girl, Dr. K. Make it a great day.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country. We're on a mission. That mission is to empower, that mission is to inspire, and that mission is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources necessary in order to execute the vision that you have for the people that's you, were called to serve. And we have the one and only Tiffany Largie. And I know some of you have had the opportunity to go out there and look at her page and Google her and all that cool stuff. And for those folks like Darwin, who's watching right now, and Beverly Wims, who says, thanks for the encouragement, and Pony, who's in the house, Brenda Graham is in the house, and so many of you watching, I know you saw the Do the Damn Thing on her shirt. I think we even sent that photo out, by the way. There she goes. She's raising it up. She's raising her shirt up. Do the damn thing. Now, I'm curious on 2 things. One, what's the backstory? That's part 1. Yeah, what's the backstory behind Do the Damn Thing? And why do you wear that? I see it on your chest. I see it on your shirts. It's like part of who you are.
Yeah, so Do the Damn Thing is actually the name of our company. Mm-hmm. And, 4.5 years ago, I never thought in my wildest dreams that I'd ever be on stage or teaching people. I did not have an interest in being on stage. I ran a business on the East Coast in North Carolina. We had 3 offices and 15 employees, and I kind of just held my head down like this, and I worked all the time. And I built a 7-figure business. Now, at that time, I didn't know, I couldn't make heads or tails of what I had done. All I knew is that I thought everybody just kind of worked really hard. They grew and their business got bigger. I remember the first time that I started hearing about this industry, and I'm like, there's a coaching industry. I've never heard of it. I never hired a coach. I never read a book. I'd never been to a seminar, any of the above. And as I started to sniff around this air, I'm like, I found one of 2 things out there. Like, first, I found people who were making $30,000 teaching other people how to make $150,000. And I was like, what? That's nuts. That don't make no sense. Like, I'm not the smartest one, but I'm like, something's wrong here. And then I would find other people who were very nice people, but they were business coaches and they had never owned a business. And I was like, how do you teach other people how to grow their business and you've never been in business before? It was very baffling to me. And I said to myself at that point, I was like, I didn't want to teach. I didn't want to be on stage because I actually don't. I'm more of an introvert, which a lot of people never believe. They're like, no way, but I am 100%. So the idea of going on stage was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. But I knew that I needed to, at least at my mind at that time, was go, hey, out there, it's possible to just be yourself and to win. Because I'm average and I did it. I don't know a thing about coaching. I don't know a thing about speaking and all this other stuff, but I do know how to grow businesses because I did it without a loan, without a credit card, without a friend, without a co-signer, or any of the above. I mean, sometimes I still joke and I'm like, my credit was so bad that I couldn't even have gotten a loan for a pencil. You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy. But at that moment, what I knew is that the fastest way for me to connect with people was to get in front of them. And so that's how I started getting to the stage. And at first I was coaching and I was consulting companies who were doing a couple $1 million. That was the criteria. And it's inside of our Shadow CEO program. But what would happen is that, Shay, I would go and I would speak on stage and all of these amazing people would come and they would ask me a bunch of questions. And I'd be baffled because I'd be like, aren't you at this conference or at this event to learn this? And my heart was there because every person I saw, they emotionally reminded me of myself because like I always wanted, I never had anybody to ask a question. I'm from Miami, Florida. Everybody hustles down there till forever. Nobody's growing a big business. You know what I mean? Like, we don't really have examples for me of strong, successful companies who are doing something like that. I mean, we have Burger King and Burger King is selling hot dogs. You know what I mean? So it's like, I was constantly told that I wasn't enough as I was. It was, Tiffany, go back to school. Because if you go back to school and you get a degree, then you're going to be valuable. It was, Tiffany, go find a husband. Because if you go find a husband, then it's going to be, all your problems will be solved. And I'm like, oh yeah, me finding a husband is going to totally solve all my problems. And then I was like, I would listen to these people. And one day I said, well, I don't know much about teaching, but I'll invite everybody into a room. All these people, we're going to invite them to a room in North Carolina. And I held my first event and it was me and a flip chart. And the event was 9 to 4 o'clock. And there was nothing special about it. There was no worksheets. There was no books. There was no slides. It was just me and a flip chart. And I just started teaching what I know. The event was supposed to be 9 to 4 and the doggone thing didn't finish till 10 o'clock at night. And people were still asking questions. And I was like, I got to go and teach. I need to go and help. And one thing led to another. And many stages later, I would often get asked this question from the stage, would be like, but Tiffany, how do I attack this situation? And I just have the same response. Well, listen, you're either doing the damn thing or you're not. Like, I believe I either love you or I don't love you. I can't say to my husband, you know what, 93%, I'm 93% in love with you. Like I'm 93%. That's just not how life works. You're either doing the damn thing or you're not. So a couple of years, so 2 years ago, it was like, all right, well, then we're just going to walk forward. I'm going to teach the world how to do the damn thing. Just exactly follow my steps, the simple little things that I did to leave that place of being hungry, be willing to own my story, be willing to own my value, learn how to use my value and my story to start knocking on doors, because that's what I did. I used to knock on 45 doors every day. That's how I got to my first 6 figures. And then I left that space and here I am today. So that's where do the damn thing comes from, because I just believe you're either doing the damn thing or you're not.
I love it. For those folks that are out there watching right now, do me a favor, pay this message forward, because I'm going to ask her the biggest question out there, which is what's the number one thing that she feels holds people back from doing the damn thing. But here's what you can do. You can look right below the video, and you have my permission, and I'm sure you have her permission, although I didn't ask. You can hit the share button. You can share this message into your community. You can hit the watch button, the watch party button right now. And when you do, write these words, do the damn thing. Hashtag Tiffany Largie. No, seriously. Yeah. Because whatever the do the damn thing is for you, for some folks, it's their business. For some things, it's a relationship. Some folks is going to the gym. We're having a conversation, but one of the things we believe is that the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. And so she's talking about results in your bank account, but you can still do the damn thing. So here's what I want you to do. For everyone, hit the share button, hit the watch party button, and then write do the damn thing at Tiffany Largie. Now, I know if you listen to the podcast, you're like, Shay, I can't share it. Or you're watching on Apple TV or Roku or Amazon Fire TV. Doesn't matter. If you're watching online now, you can look right below the video as well and just write do the damn thing. Hashtag Tiffany Largie. Now I'm going to ask her, what's the number one thing, Tiffany, that holds people back from just doing the damn thing?
Man, wholeheartedly, it's living for other people, living for someone else other than yourself. It's putting yourself second and last and then super last. We only have this one life. I don't have time to, number one, live for other people's ideas and thoughts. I have to want my own thoughts first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, and then I can take on everybody else's. So it's fear. It's fear of being rejected. It's fear of not being accepted. It's fear of not being wanted or desired. It's fear of, I would say failure, but I really do believe it's rooted more in fear of rejection and fear of judgment than anything else. And I wouldn't have known that 5 years ago. But today, like in the last 4 years, I've literally in person talked to 20, 30,000 people. Like I forget what the stuff we do online. I've had conversations. So it's like, I never knew that there were so many other people like me. I'm like, you were afraid of being judged. I was afraid of being judged. I never wanted to say that stuff out loud. I thought that I needed these people. I thought that I needed to prove myself and keep proving myself. And then I also fought for the little bit of respect that I was given, like the tiny bit of respect. I was holding on to that because I thought that was valuable. I was like, that's not valuable, man. So it's fear of judgment.
Fear of judgment. I love it. For those folks that are out there right now, like I see Sandra Grace is out there. Edith Joyce is out there. Nicole Brown Hurston said, do the damn thing. Venus says, do the damn thing. Danny says, do the damn thing. Daryl says, do the damn thing. Look, you just had a whole conference around this about a week or so ago. And here's my question to you that's going to help every single one of you. And it's probably on your mind too, whether you're at the conference or not. Tiffany, what's maybe 1, 2, or 3 secrets that you could share that was maybe shared at the conference? And I know you can't give away all the goodies, but maybe 3 things that we listening right now can soak and glean and walk away with from Tiffany that's going to help us do the damn thing. And as you're out there right now, we want to say thank you for watching. We want to say thank you for hitting the share button. Every one of you who hit the share button, thank you. We appreciate it. Everyone hit the watch party button. We appreciate it. If you're getting value right now, and just look right below the video, the comments, we appreciate that. Just say, Tiffany, you're doing a great job. This is what's called a digital applause, And how do you give a digital applause? Well, you look right below the video. If you listen to the podcast, you can leave a comment too. Just look right below there and just write, Tiffany, great job. Tiffany, you're awesome. Tiffany, we appreciate you. Tiffany, I'm going to do the damn thing. If you don't want to say damn thing, just put D. You should know what it means. Tiffany, I'm going to do the D thing. If damn something that bothers you, don't worry. You do that right now. So Tiffany, the question I asked is folks that are out there right now and they're responding, and we appreciate every one of the comments. We're present with you, but don't worry, we can go back and see the comments. What's 3 things that was taught at your conference, which I believe is called Do the Damn Thing?
It's
Appropriate.
actually called Do the Damn Thing. This year it's World Tour, and next year it's Do the Damn Thing Live.
Do the Damn Thing World Tour. What's 3 of the lessons that was taught throughout the conference that you could share with us that we could walk away with?
You know, I would say before I teach the 3 things, I just want to make this statement. Your story, which is the theme of the event, your story is worth $1 million. And that's a period. Like there's no more to that. That's the whole concept. And it's not about the money. It's about the impact that you can make with the money. First on yourself, then on the people right around you, and then on the world, which is what I believe that everyone who has the capacity should be heading to be able to impact the world. But you can't do that until you impact yourself. And so many of us try to do it backwards. So it's like concept number 1. So my 3 things. How to tell your story. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. And if you're taking notes, I just jot this down. The beginning of the story has the people, place, and the setting. The middle of the story has the obstacle, the challenge, the thing to overcome. The end of the story presents the solution, the win, the outcome. And if you just took those notes and you were to do an exercise, it's just 1 sentence for each. 1 sentence for each of those categories. Mold and shape your story. And the second most important thing is, listen, there is no other you. The reason why in this life you want to lead in this life with your story. Now forget money and business. Money, business, and sales, it's a must. But I'm talking about friendships. You're looking for a spouse in your relationship with your children, partnerships. You want people to come and donate their time for the fundraiser that you're the head of. Like, it doesn't actually matter the scenario. What I'm telling you right now is that your story is the only thing the world has never heard before, period. You're the only you. Like, in the history of this planet, there has never been another Tiffany Largie. There will never be another Tiffany Largie, which means if I go and I walk in through the door and I'm like, I am here, people, because I'm unique. I have a scarf, or I have these gold earrings. There is like 10 other women in every room who have dope gold earrings. There is another person in the room who's wearing a black shirt. There is other people who got hair that's short, long, this, that, and the other. Every time I turn around and I watch people walk in through the door with something that someone else already has, there is nothing on the planet that makes you unique. There is no thrift store. There is no jacket. There is no weight. There is no set of abs. The only thing that truly makes you unique is your story, period. Which means as you build you, the relationship, the mom version, the dad version, the CEO version of you, the employer version of you, the sister, the JV partner, like, you know, if it's, you know, no matter that role that you live, man, you walk with your story first, everything changes. That's literally where the game changing happens. Because for us, story is the backbone of our brand, our clients, our hiring process, our programs and offers. And if you can, and just to give you context on this, like, our audience is 30 to 35% white male. And I'm a Black woman. And it's like, sometimes we think that our story is just going to attract that person who looks and feels just like us. And it's like, that's not the truth. The truth is that your story goes right inside of it goes into the center of us. It goes to our hearts. So where everyone else is marketing to avatars like income levels and the car they drive and where they live and all that other stuff, yes, that stuff works. But I got to tell you, I'm a Black woman who doesn't have a college degree, and we have the entire United Nations in our room who fly from all over the world because they're connected to me here, not because they're connected to me here. The third lesson that I would leave with you is that, man, there are, so it's like in marketing, we look to connect and convert the avatar based on the fear that we create for them, right? So there's a lot of strategy out there around creating it's almost like a fear-based, not selling, but fear-based way of communicating. And even though we find that that works, our study shows that like in the last 2 years, if we move away from fear and we walk into not just the possibility, but the core of my story being your story, but because we understand each other here, by using the story in our marketing and emails, on landing pages, on websites, on opt-in material, and for us, it's live events. It makes it so much easier because not only do you convert more traffic, but then out of the gate, you just get the right person. So you don't have to sift through so much of what doesn't work for you. You don't have to sift as much. You don't have to use as much resources and time and money going through people or leads that truly aren't for your business. And so imagine going from 0 to 100 that quick.
Wow, that is super powerful. Who's a good client for Do the Damn Thing now? You kind of mentioned different avatars, and the folks are watching or listening right now. They may be over at your website. They're looking up on social media. They're all tuned in and listen to your voice. And if they had to say, wow, what type of client does she work with today? I know it's a broad question, but if you could kind of frame it for us. And so they might know someone, or they may be a good candidate, want to connect with you. We're going to tell them how to do that in a little while. But who's a good candidate for Do the Damn Thing? You just have to be hanging out with them, but for Do the Damn Thing company.
I love how you say that, man. I love it. You're like, do the damn thing.
Just do it, baby. Just do it.
So the person who knows right now, as you're listening, and you know for a fact that that you have been feeling the core of something missing. If you have been in business for years and you're like, I've been in business, I'm doing some things, it's great. But when you go back home, silently, you're a little bit empty and you're wondering what's next, what's more. If you're the person who's like, I know that I have a story to tell and I just can't figure out how to tell it, and I don't know how to use my story to do X, then for sure. In today's world, which is a big reason why after doing 30 plus events, we made a decision to head into not just the first world. So the Do the Damn Thing World Tour, to answer that past question, I made a decision that I'm going to move past first world countries and I'm headed into second and third world countries. That's our next objective. And it's like, we have a process for every part of the market, regardless of where they fall. And it's not because we can serve everybody, but it's because my story dictates that I started with no money and putting my kids to bed hungry and not wanting to live. And so the first thing I had to figure out was how to keep my head above water, and then how to learn how to make money and start knocking on doors. And I knocked on doors, 45 doors every day, 5 days a week. And then after that, I got to 6 figures or I got to the door of 6 figures, and I was like, how does the 6-figure thing work? So then that's another part of the market that we serve aggressively. But then I was hovering in multiple 6 figures and I was like, this is not making any sense. I'm supposed to scale. You want me to hire people? What? And I was like, I got to manage them? Oh my gosh. So then we serve that market as well. And then we go beyond that. So we also aggressively serve the market that's doing a couple $1 million or doing under $1 billion. That's kind of the criteria for us. So I would say, I mean, man, the best person for us is who has listened to this and says, I need to know more. Because somewhere in my story is your story, which means that we should be together.
I love it. I love it. So powerful. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation with the one and only Tiffany Largie, who's simply amazing. She's simply incredible. The person you see today is the person you see when you're actually in person. By the way, I know sometimes people wonder if they're in character or not in character. And I've had the pleasure of meeting her, hugging her, and being right there with her. And she did have on that Do the Damn shirt, by the way, at a big conference, Success Women's Conference. And she rocked out. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. I'm looking forward to our conversation. We're going over to the one and only Rob Howes. Rob Howes says, be present where you are. Yeah, how true is that? We'll be back in just a moment.
Hey guys,
All right.
me and Daddy are here.
All right, I'm doing a video.
I got a question.
No, it's not a question. This is a video where I'm telling people something. I'm telling them that today is their January 1st. Today is your January 1st Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, because today is the only day you got. because tomorrow's not promised and yesterday is gone. So the reason why today being your January 1st is significant because it keeps you from procrastination. Procrastination is the destroyer of dreams. Yeah, it's the destroyer. It's the killer of dreams. So take action. Be present where you're present. That's the real gift. Be present where you are present. That is the real gift. Today is your January 1st. Say today.
Today.
Say today is your January 1st.
Today is January 1st.
Say it loud.
Today is January 1st.
That's it. Don't forget it.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission to encourage, to inspire, and to provide you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources, all of the tools, all of the knowledge, and all of the skills that you need right now in order to execute, that vision you have for yourself, that vision you have for your loved ones, the ones you care the most about, and that vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And Tiffany's here right now, and I'm going to ask Tiffany the question for those folks that are joining, like Everett, thanks a lot. Asbury, is always a pleasure. Ursula, back in the house. The question of one of our core beliefs here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show, which is today is my January 1st. And for those folks that are hearing that for the very first time, today is my January 1st. We believe is a time when you have to make a decision, and it happens throughout your whole life, but it happens in moments throughout the day when you make a decision, and when you make that decision, it could change the trajectory of your life. You either go to the gym or you sit on a couch. You either eat a hamburger and French fries, or you open up that refrigerator. Inside there's some kale, there's some broccoli, there's some lettuce, there's some celery. If that sounds good, you and I, we on the same page. We just crazy. But here's the question. Because today is my January 1st, represents a restart, a rebirth, a change. Your past doesn't equal your future. My question to Tiffany right now is that when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what does it mean to you? What resonates with you?
Right out of the gate, to be done with the things I'm tolerating. The reason why we don't win is because we tolerate too much, and everything is wrapped up in what you're tolerating, period. So it's like, man, today's my January 1st. I got an opportunity here. I've got an opportunity to be done with my tolerations and to make this day the day I stop tolerating X.
Wow, that's powerful. When you say that, and as you say that right now, I'm wondering, what was your January 1st moment? That moment where you made a decision that you were going to be an entrepreneur, that you were going to hang your hat, that this was going to work for you no matter what.
You know, gosh, I've had so many January 1st. I mean, my goodness, I've had a lot. You know, Jada and Maya, my two oldest daughters, they were 18 months apart. And every 2-3 days, I was just teetering on wanting to live, not wanting to live. And I felt very alone. And I want to tell the world that I just wanted to live for these kids. But the truth is that I feel like sometimes I only stayed alive because I didn't know what was going to happen to them. I didn't feel like there was someone that they could go to. And that fear of that kept me alive, I guess. My true January 1st came the day that I made a decision to stop tolerating living in a home where I was being abused and being told that I wasn't enough. The second time in the same sector, which is why I'm going to pull them together, is I made a couple, like at that moment I was making some money, but it was like up and down, but even the up wasn't enough. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like the up moments actually weren't enough. It was $1,000 per kid to put them in preschool. And before I started knocking on doors for myself and start my own business, that's how I did it. So I just started knocking on doors. That's how I started my first business. Before that, I made $10.22 an hour. So it was like, yeah, I evolved from my little $22,000, a year to $33,000, but it's $1,000 per kid, and I don't have any help. So in my mind, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do something different because I got to get to about $7,000 a month. Because if not, I can't even pay these doggone bills and I'm going to lose my mind. I had to let go of tolerating my my unwillingness to knock on the same amount of doors every day. So at that moment, I knew that for every day, if I knocked on about 40 doors plus, I would get 2 leads. And at the end of the week, my 10 leads, I for sure would get 1 sale. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yes, it does.
So it was like, I said to myself, oh my gosh, I need at least 1 sale a week. I got to have this 1 sale a week. So it was like, starting today, no matter what, I'm going to knock on 45 doors every single day, come hell or high water. And it was the scariest thing that I have ever done, because I had already lived a life of feeling rejected, being in this relationship. But it wasn't just relationship. I felt not wanted forever. So here I am. I'm going to go put myself on the street and knock on doors to businesses and have 43 no's every day. That was my January 1st, the decision and then the action that came with it. And I did it for years. And 6 figures later, it's the greatest decision I ever made, was to make my one January 1st moment. I'm knocking on these damn doors no matter what.
For those folks that are watching right now, today is your January 1st. And you can look right below the video. You can write those words. Today is my January 1st. Hashtag do the damn thing. But you can look right below the video. You can look right below the video right now. And if you know that this is your year, you know this is your moment, you know this is your time, just look right below the video. Do it for yourself. And if you write those words, you're paying it forward to someone else. You're encouraging another entrepreneur. Just write, today is my January 1st. Hashtag do the damn thing. Now, Tiffany, it's folks right now that are doing that. And they're writing, today is my January 1st. What's up, Paul Taylor? And they're putting hashtag do the damn thing. I'm curious. How does Tiffany stay consistent? Because there's a number of folks right now that are saying, yeah, today's my January 1st. I'm going to knock on 45 doors. And then day 2, it rains, so they don't go. Or day 2, they've got a headache. They don't go. So my question specifically to you is, you've heard consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. But having said that, most people struggle with consistency. So how does Tiffany Largie stay consistent?
Man, that's a big question. And I think that, sometimes I'm not even sure if I stay consistent. I think for me, I'd love to tell you that I'm consistent. I think the truth is I just show up. It's like, how do I show up time and time again? So I'm going to give you, I guess, my back then and then what I do now, because they're a little bit different. They've evolved. So number one, you can't leave the showing up part to you. I struggled to be willing to wake up earlier. And it was like, okay, if I'm going to knock on 45 doors a day, then I got to be out the house by 6:30 so I could get the kids to the preschool at 7 on the dot when they open, so that I could be I'm from Miami. So I used to knock on doors in Alhambra. From those of you, I was in Coral Gables all day long, and I would knock on these doors. And I was like, I got to be there by 8:15, 8:30. Like, if I'm not, I can't get to 45. So yes, I could set an alarm. And yes, I could try and say, I'm going to do it on my own, but I know me. And if you know you, don't leave it up to you. I don't leave anything important up to me. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Do you understand? Anything that's important for me to get the result, I put it in someone else's hands, because I know myself and I'm going to find an excuse. So like back then, I would have a friend that I knew, she was going to work for 5 o'clock. And so I would turn off my cell phone, I got a house phone. I bought one of those house phones, we used to have house phones, and I put it on the other side of the house. And every morning I paid her respectively in different ways to call my house at 5:30 in the morning. And I would be pissed off and angry as I got out of bed, and I put the phone way far away so I could not just reach over my nightstand and turn it off. I'd have to get up, I'd have to walk over there, and angry and upset and annoyed, I'd go, right? And then I would hang up. But what it did is it got me out of bed. It got me starting the doggone day. So that is an example. And then I started doing that with every part of my life. I just left those pieces outside of my hand. Today, I'm going to say I keep people around me who have the skills that I'm weak in. And that's number one. Number two, when it comes to like the things that I'm looking to perform in, because in business, I'm an athlete and every day I am competing. And just like all athletes, they never go out and practice ball or track on their own. They have a coach outside. So I have a lot of people who watch my game. And because I can't see my blind spots. The third thing I'm gonna say is that I just try to keep it simple. I keep it simple. Community allows me to keep it simple. I put one thing in every single category that what we teach upon that I commit to. And the difference is that a lot of times we're focused on the what is the outcome. And if I had just focused on $10,000 a month back then, or if I focused on whatever our goal is now, I can't be committed to dollars. Like emotionally, we don't feel dollars. What we do feel is what will happen with the dollars. So like in my office on our wall, we keep the stats. I keep the stats in front of me. There are 564,000 people homeless in the United States. There's 20 million women and children who are in sex trafficking. There are 150 people right now, 150 million people who were born with some type of physical disability in which they cannot feed and provide for themselves. I keep that up on my wall and so that I see it every single day because I'm emotionally attached to that woman who doesn't have a story, who can't tell her story and is in hiding. I am emotionally attached to that teenager who's aging out of foster care and doesn't have ... So by me keeping my whys visibly, and they have to be emotional, they either need to make you pissed off or they need to make you sad when you think about them. It forces me to dial into the things, the activities that produce the results. Like I don't enjoy the taste of celery juice, but I drink it every single morning.
Wow. We're talking to one and only Tiffany Largie. When we come back, we're going to go into a rapid fire segment where we get to ask any questions on our mind, and she's going to answer it. Well, she could decline. She hadn't declined the question yet. It was really cool. She didn't give me a list of questions that I had to absolutely positively answer. She said, Shay, let's just have a conversation. Shay, let's just hang out. And the people, that's you, the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe, and all those who got a hold of this broadcast right now on our video, you all can watch and eavesdrop in. I'm very thankful for that because she's opened her heart up and she's given us the most valuable piece that she has, and that is her time. She knows with 100% certainty, all of you right now, y'all all can make more money. That can happen for you, but not one of you watching right now, myself included, can make more time. And so she's given us the gift. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So I'm going to thank her for that. When we come back, we're going to go into rapid fire. For those folks that are out there, look right below the video and say, thank you, Tiffany. Say, we appreciate you, Tiffany. Give her a little love for giving the time away from her daughters, the time for her family, the time for her business to be here for one reason and one reason only. And that is to serve and share her knowledge with you. And that's been an honor and a privilege so far. We're going to take a 2-minute or less break. We're going to go back. Oh, wow. We're going back to Raleigh, North Carolina. And down there is none other than Letitia Nicole Beatty. And she talks about taking control. How true is that? We'll be back in just a moment with Tiffany Largie. Take it away.
Hey, it is your girl Letitia Nicole, CEO founder of Speak Life Enterprises, where we teach powerful words to entrepreneurs like yourself to shape your reality. Well, before I get started with my thought of the week today, I want to send a huge shout out to Shay Brown, the CEO founder of this amazing group of happy entrepreneurs. Hey, Shay, thank you so much for allowing me to speak life to your group. So the word and the thought of the week is taking control. Now, oftentimes we give a foothold to things that weigh us down, like guilt, shame, resentment, worry, and doubt and bitterness. Now, these things can come naturally. The problem is when we allow them in, they take up space that should be reserved for good things, like joy and peace and confidence and creativity. But the negative can't come in automatically and take over unless we allow it. So I have a challenge for you. You have control over negative thoughts and emotion, so grab hold and take control. You have to make a choice and say, I am not going to give space to negativity and let it poison my life. I won't let an offense make me sour and bitter. I want you to take inventory of what you're giving place to because life is way too short to go through it with negative things holding you back. So take control of what you allow inventory in your life. All right? My name is Letitia Nicole, and until next time, take control. See you later.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission that is to empower, that is to inspire, and that's to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources necessary to really execute that big vision that you have. It takes revenue for the people you were called to serve. You need those resources. It does take revenue. And Tiffany's given us some very precious time. And we're in what's called the rapid fire segment. The rapid fire segment is where I get to ask any question and she can answer or decline. Now she has about a minute or so to answer it right away. And she understands that. And we all understand that. And so I guess the first question I ask is, you mentioned so many coaches and people around you. What's one lesson that you've learned from a mentor that you can share with us? Of all the lessons you've learned, what's one you say, you know what? This is a lesson I learned from a mentor, whether they work with you directly or indirectly, that you can share with us, the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe.
Greatest lesson. 2 years ago, my mentor, she does $1 billion a year, which was one of my goals. Like, how do you get there? And she taught me that before everything in business, establish your values and make them the backbone of all of your conversations and how you operate. Values, your core values for yourself become the core values for your company.
Yeah, you've I'm sure read a lot of books along the way. And if you take away the good book, by the way, the Bible, put that in its own separate category. What's one lesson you've learned from one of the books? You might not recall the name of the book. Maybe you do. That sticks to you right now. That you would share with those folks that are watching, whether it's a book one of your clients wrote or a book that you just really admire.
Yeah. The concept of blue ocean versus red ocean. So the concept of being willing to be in a category where you're the only one.
I love that. Love that. Great book. You know, there's a concept, she says, blue ocean, called blue sky. And blue sky is that one goal, that one goal that if you achieved it, you would be remembered forever. And if you think about all the goals you have right now that might be wacky or far stretched, what's the one goal that, you know what, we call it your blue sky goal? That if you accomplish that blue sky goal, you'll be remembered for the impact of that blue sky goal. Is there one that pops top in your mind that you have right now?
To do the damn thing in every continent. To do the damn conversation in every single continent before I leave. And to create ambassadors who can then teach after me.
Yeah. How does Tiffany expand her comfort zone? We all have a comfort zone we're comfortable in. And so by definition, we get outside of that, we're uncomfortable. So what's one of the ways that you continue to get outside of your comfort zone? How do you do that?
Man, like once a week, I'm looking to look like a fool and embarrass myself, to be honest with you. I'm actually looking to, like whatever scares you the most, whatever creates the most fear for you is exactly what you should be doing first. So for me, at least once a week, I take a moment and I ask myself, okay, great. What would be stupid scary for me right now? And I run towards it, even though I'm afraid. I don't want you to think that I'm like not afraid anymore. No, but I'm like, I know I need to do that because I don't have time at this point in my game. I don't have time to grow a little bit. I don't have time. Tomorrow's not promised. So I'm not on a slow track, which means every time that I'm making a move, I need to be stretching and growing as much as I physically possibly can. So that's why I just go to the scary stuff first and I do it.
Yeah. What does success mean to you today?
Success is being able to have daily love and laughter. If your life does not include laughing ridiculously on a daily basis, I don't feel that you're living and I don't feel that you're successful. Dollars and bank accounts, no, that's far from success. Success is where you can measure your life by daily love and laughter.
Yeah. What is something about Tiffany that you would like for us to know that nobody would even guess? They have no idea this is one of your quirks or one of your hobbies or something you like to do for fun.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I think everybody knows all my little weird things. I mean, my clients will, it's my clients. We take our clients around the world, our private clients, and I'm notorious for telling our driver, stop right here. And then my clients who are running multi-million-dollar companies, they watch me run out of the car and steal fruit in my shirt from orange trees and tangerine trees and climb a tree real quick. And I take them and then run back in the car. And then I sit there in the front seat like nobody saw me, even though the whole car stopped. So, I mean,
That's crazy. I've heard some stories, but that one I've never heard before.
it's the truth. They're notorious. It's the best. You know what? There's nothing like fresh fruit to me. My family were from the Caribbean. So for me, anytime that I can be barefoot and climbing a tree, I'm as happy as could be. That is the truth.
For folks that are out there listening right now, how would you want them to connect with you? They're like, I just want to stay in a conversation. You want them to connect with you on social media. How do you want folks to connect with you?
Well, honestly, not obviously. Please come and connect with me somewhere on social media. It's at Tiffany Largie everywhere, and it's very easy to find us. And I'd love, and if you can just put Happy Entrepreneur Show when you reach out, that would be awesome. That is a given. The second, I would say, if you're sitting around right now and you're like, I don't know how to tell my story, I almost feel like I should give something away to your audience.
Absolutely.
Here's what I'm going to do. This is my birthday month. And my birthday was last week. So my birthday was actually during the world tour. We threw a huge birthday party and I've been celebrating like crazy. I'm going to do 2, maybe 3 things. So the first thing I'm going to say is I'm going to give away to the audience. We have to create it because we actually don't give a lot of things. We don't give things away. How to tell your story. We have a training, I'm sure, in archive. And if you send an email right now to hello@tiffanylargie.com. hello@tiffanylargie.com. We will get you this training. All you have to do is include your contact information, your name, your email, phone number. And then you'll get a training on how to actually tell your story. It's amazing. And once you learn how to do this, I'm telling you, you could do anything. We teach us at our live events. We teach us in intensive. So this completely free, no strings attached. We're not going to put you in some funnel or sequence or any of that. We're going to give you the training and say, all right, take care. And if you need anything else, we're there. The second thing I'm going to do is we have our next Do the Damn Thing World Tour in Toronto. And I'm so excited. It's September 24th through 27th. And here's what I'm going to do. If you're saying to yourself, I think I need to go learn live and in person and learn how to tell the story, I'm going to do 1 of 2 things. I'm going to give you a discount code that is only internal for our family right now. And it's DTDT Tour. When you head to the checkout page, and it's going to bring the ticket that I think is $600 now, it'll bring it below $200. If you write us a note, I'm going to give away 5 scholarship seats, though. Actually, I'm going to give away 8 because my birthday is on the 8th. So if you're sitting somewhere in the world right now and you're listening to this and you're like, you know what? Life is not treating me right now. I don't know where else to turn to. I feel isolated and alone. I know I need to be doing something, but I don't know what to do it. I'm literally going to gift you a ticket to come to the event. And if you can tell us why you need to be there, one of those people, I'm going to pay for your first 2 nights of hotel. So I'm going to give, because you really only need 2 nights. And I mean it. I'm totally giving this away completely, no strings attached, because so many people have served and given to me on my journey. So all you have to do is send an email to hello@tiffanylargie.com and tell us why you need to be there, what's happening in your life. And my team and I'm personally going to review them. And we're going to pick the top 8 and go from there.
Oh, man, I love it. I love it. I love your heart to give. Last question in this segment. I guess the last question I would ask would be, you mentioned you have 2 daughters. Is that correct?
I have 3 daughters.
I keep saying 2. You have 3 daughters. And I have 2 boys, so I know it's hard to do this. But if your daughters, for whatever reason, get a hold of this long lost audio or video file, and who knows what it's called back 10 years from now, but this video, and they're watching it now. And I asked the question, what's your message to your daughters? Like today, in this frame of state you're in right now, and you're delivering a message to your daughters, and we all obviously get to listen in, but they get to see it at some point in their life. What message would you want to tell your daughters, like right now?
Mm. You are enough. That's it. You are enough.
You are enough. With that being said, we're going to be back for the final segment. We're going to ask Tiffany Largie if she'll close us out, share her final thoughts that she has right now for all of you to encourage you or to inspire you. I'm going to encourage you all to connect with her on social media. She said go to Tiffany Largie. You can go there, find her on any of the social media platforms. She also mentioned you can send an email to hello@do-the-darn-thing. Is that right? Did I get that right?
Hello at tiffanylargie.com.
Yeah, hello@tiffanylargie.com. And you can go ahead and when you send that in and include your contact number, she'll not only give you a free gift, but if you write a reason why you need to attend the conference, you may be one of the folks that are selected as well. And there's also a discount code. Don't forget the discount code that she mentioned as well. We'll be back in just a moment. For those folks that are out there, we're going to go over to myself. We'll talk about where the sales team you've been looking for. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay tuned. Final thought. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. And if you're like a number of my clients right now, where you are sick and tired of talking to unqualified people who don't want to do business with you, or you're tired of tracking down people and trying to convince them and persuade them to do business with you, and you're just wasting your time, or you're just totally frustrated, and it's time for you to increase your sales, then we are the sales team that you've been looking for. You see, the number one challenge facing entrepreneurs today is either lost leads. That means they met someone opted on their page, someone signed up on their webinar, someone said they were interested, and no one could follow up with them, no one could track them down, and you had to do it all yourself. Or you spend a lot of time talking to someone, you spend a lot of time sending them information, only to find out they were unqualified. You're like, I'm sick of talking to unqualified people. So if you don't want to sell, or you hate to sell because you want to do something else with your time, something else with your labor, like spend it with those that you love the most, or doing something entirely different, then I want you to pay close attention. I want you to text this number, because we're going to partner with you in two ways. First, we're going to look at doing a complete sales makeover for you. Okay, that's number one. And then number two, we're going to set all the qualified appointments you need without your labor, so you can make sure things get done. And or we're going to have a dedicated sales team to go out and actually make the sale, get the credit card, get the contract, and bring it out. We are the sales team that you've been looking for. So it's just time for you to do a sales makeover. It's time for you to look at your whole sales process and have a structure, a system, a sequence, so you can be scalable and you can really generate those sales. Here's what I want you to do for your sales makeover. Text the word makeover. Do it right now. Open up your phone right now. Text the word makeover, one word, makeover, to 202-999-3515. Let me get that to you again. Text the word makeover so you can look at your business to 202-999-3515 and just follow the instructions. So all you gotta do is follow the instructions, and let's make over your business. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, where we're on a mission, and that is to inspire, that is to empower, and that is really to provide you, the entrepreneur with the big heart, you, the entrepreneur who gets up every day to have more meaning in the world, although the money does follow. You, the entrepreneur, that want to have more impact in the world, although you will have more income. Or you, just the entrepreneur who want to make $1 and a difference at the same time. If that's you, or you will make $1 and a difference, look right below the video and say, yeah, Shay, $1 and a difference at the same time. And that is very, very possible, and it can come true for you. We want to take a moment to say thank you to the one and only Tiffany Largie, who has a heart to give. She has a heart to serve. She showed up and never asked for anything. Matter of fact, right before we got started, she said words I've never heard. She said, Shay, I'm just here to serve the audience. I'm just here to serve. I'm just here to serve, man. So let's just go out there and she didn't use the words do the damn thing. I was waiting to hear that. She said, let's go out there and just do it. Now, maybe it's because we're behind the scenes and we're colleagues. So she's like, I ain't going to say, but I want to do the damn thing. I know. I hate it when my family calls and I answer the phone. I'm like, hey, what's up? They were like, what happened to It's a Great Day? What happened to It's a Great Day? What is It's a Great Day? My cousin. So I get it in all seriousness. But in all seriousness, thank you from the bottom of my heart. On behalf of the entire Happy Entrepreneur Tribe, we've got to have you back. We want to join you on the Do the Damn Thing tour. Sounds like it's going to be amazing. Y'all make sure y'all go to the website, tell your friends about it, hit the share button. When you share this video, just put Do the Damn Thing and then add, is it tour or Do the Damn Thing live next year? What is it going to be called?
Do the Damn Thing live. But it's a Do the Damn Thing World Tour right now.
Okay. When you share the button, hit Do the Damn Thing World Tour. And you can find it over at tiffanylargie.com. Make sure you head over there. You can follow the prompts, follow the instructions. If you can get a ticket, get a ticket. If you can get an air flight, get that now. Whatever do, be there because it's what? It's time to what? Do the damn thing.
Yes.
Now. I added it down on there, by the way. Now.
Yes.
All right. With that being said, again, thank you. I want to turn over you to have your final thoughts, your final comments, whatever on your heart that you want to share with the entrepreneurs, because these lights are going to go out. There'll be no music. There'll be no Tiffany clapping saying go, go, go. They've got to go out there and they've got to make it happen. So over to you.
Yeah. You know, first and foremost, I want to say I'm so grateful that you've had me on. This has been an honor to be able to spend time with you and your community and watch you doing the damn thing. The #1 business development late night show in America. Are you kidding me? Like, we are here in these streets. I'm like, yes. So first and foremost, I totally have to say that. Second, I'm going to say, listen, if you've taken this time to get this far in this training, in this conversation, in this interview, I say to you, do not leave here and not consider your story to be part of your next steps, whatever it is. I beg you to consider, well, man, there are lessons in my story. Am I using it? Am I sharing it? Am I using it to serve people? Am I using it to serve myself? The third thing I want to say for sure, man, the faster you move through whatever shame you're holding, whatever fear you're holding on to, whatever insecurities you're holding on to, the faster you walk through them, own them, and you own them by making them public. I want everyone to be clear. You don't own them by just acknowledging them for yourself, because if you're not willing to share it with other people, then you're still afraid of the rejection. I get on stage every single month somewhere around the world and I share my whole story, including the ugly. And most of the time I start with the ugly. Because at that point, let me tell you, when you're willing to go there, the money that you're after will follow. The people you want will follow. The influence you want will follow. The business, if you're trying to build a business, will follow. The relationship, your marriage, your children, like it all follows in owning your story. So I beg you, don't leave it behind. And then last but not least, watch this show. Shay is doing some big things. Do not watch this show. Like, don't miss it. He has dope people here doing dope things. And I tell you, I wish to God there was something like this when I was trying to figure it out. That's the truth. I wish there was something like this that I could sit inside of and learn and watch, because success leaves clues. And he brings on amazing people who are doing the damn thing.
Doing the damn thing. Thank you so much. With that being said, I want you all to know you're amazing. You're incredible. You've all got greatness inside you. And I know the best is yet to come for you, because today is your January 1st. I know the best is yet to come for you because you're going to do the damn thing. And I know the best is going to come for you because you're giving your best foot. With that being said, look right below the video and write these words as we close out. Today is my January 1st. Hashtag do the damn thing. With that being said, my name, for those folks that are tuning in, anyone know who in the LL Cool J is doing all that screaming? My name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless. And we wish you success. Thanks a lot, Tiffany. You're amazing as well. Y'all rock. Peace.
Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right,
Check.
Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, win,
Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Thank you, God bless.